Now, this is the second day of class. This is when I usually go over Blackboard, not Blackboard. I don't use Blackboard. But I usually go over MyLabs Math or MyLabs Plus. Now it's called MyLabs Math. This is to catch anybody, especially those people that added late and can't read their email or didn't read their email and all the other excuses. The house fell in, lightning struck, hit my dog, and everything else that y'all come up with. All right, so here is your Blackboard. And when you come up to Blackboard, your Blackboard is probably going to look like this. Now, I've already talked about this, but the reason I'm going over it again is because I'm going to show you how to use MyLabs Plus or MyLabs Math, because some of you have never seen it before. Matter of fact, I want to see your virtual hands. How many have never seen MyLabs Math or MyLabs Plus before? Give me your virtual hand raised and leave it up where I can see it. That means hit the hand up at the top. Oh my gosh, are you telling me that everybody in this classroom has seen? Okay, all right, I don't believe it, but I think some of y'all are still asleep or eating breakfast or doing something. Anyway, I'm still going to go through it because I know there's somebody that hadn't seen it. Y'all just being weaned on a pickle. All right, so here is the MyLabs Math. That's what you click one time. Click MyLabs Math the second time. This screen will come up. You go to your class, which your class will probably be the only one there, 10310, and you hit the third button, which is the green button, and you hit the green button the fourth time. Now, can somebody tell me, okay, there it is, and then the fifth button you hit, okay, well, after this button, after the green button, the second green button, it usually asks you for your, somebody help me out, does it ask you for your username and login? Or does it ask you to accept the conditions?
I think mine asked me for my username and login.
Okay. Well, what I usually tell students, hold on just a second. Well, I can't find my mouse. There it is. No, I don't want to. There we go. What I usually tell students, and I hope these markers work, because what happens at the beginning of the semester, all the markers don't work. So, and those don't work. I swear to goodness, every time IT works on something and resets something, it's screwed up. Let me see if these work. Nope. I wish they'd just leave stuff alone. Hold on just a second. Go ahead and write them an email and say, freaking board don't work. I'm sorry. It's just like, you ever seen in your neighborhood, you ever seen the telephone company van show up and it's just in your area for no reason and then the phones don't work? Well, that's what happens when IT messes with something. They come and set up something and then it don't work. So I'm going to send them a, this is how you get the help desk. You just do that. AC 137. The whiteboard app. And the markers are not working. this happens whenever y'all update the system. Thanks. That's a politically correct way of saying y'all screwed it up again. So, send AC 137, the whiteboard app and the markers are not working / connected. Sorry about that. I was going to write what you're supposed to put in your, can somebody that successfully logged in, because I have been told that some students are saying that it takes your username with the at tctc.edu and then your password or your T number. Can somebody share with the class what it actually uses?
Well, what happened with mine is they said that my stuff for my labs wouldn't work since it's new, since it's like my math or whatever. So I just had to redo my whole account, like just create a new account and then you choose whatever password you want.
Yeah, you have to you have to do a new account because My Labs Plus will not work. I think it says that in the handout. I'm not sure. Has anybody read the handout? No. Has anybody read the handout and
I read it. It does say to redo it. Yes, sir.
It does?
Yes, sir.
I thought it did. So make sure you read the handout, please. And then it's going to ask you, do you accept? And am I going right? And then the orange button comes up. Is that the correct sequence? Because I don't get to see it.
Yes.
Okay, so you need to create a My Labs Math account. You need to use, like, my email is hmcclure@tctc.edu. So I would use hmcclure as a username. And then my password, you could use your T number or you could make up a password, whichever you want. I would use something that I remember a good bit. And then it's going to say, do you accept the terms? And you say yes. And then you hit Open My Labs. After you hit the orange button, and you are in Math 103-10, you have successfully registered into My Labs Math. Okay, remember, My Labs Math is not the same account as My Labs Plus. My Labs Plus is going away. So they're doing away with all those accounts. Well, not all, they're not doing away with them. They're storing them, but they're just going to cease to exist. All right? Here is your new My Labs Math. Now, does anybody have any questions on registering? That's not on the handout. Anybody? Let me check and see out of 20 people. And we got 16 in the group now out of 20. Let me see how many of y'all are registered. 16 has registered. Okay. So we got 16 attending class and we got 16 on My Labs Math. So that's kind of coincidental, but that's usually the way it works. Now, let me show you where to go to not have to go through Blackboard. Why would you not want to go through Blackboard? Anybody want to take a guess?
Because it crashes all the time.
Because it crashes all the time, exactly. So what you do is you just go to Google, and you can save this on your desktop however you want to do it. Just type in My Labs Math. My Labs. Oops, sorry. Well, there it is, but My Labs Math. And this is in the email that I sent you. Make sure you hit the one that says Pearson. Pearson is your publisher. Don't hit one that doesn't say publisher or whatever. Pearson. Sign in. Remind me later. And it knows me automatically. There it goes. Okay, and yours will pop up. There it is. And you click on it. Now that's the quickest way to get into MyLabs Math, and you don't have to worry about Blackboard. Does anybody have any question on that? Okay, so just going over it one more time. You go to Blackboard, you click on MyLabs Math, then you click on MyLabs Math again, then you click on the two green buttons, then you make a new account using your username and a password or your T number, accept the conditions, and hit the orange button. That is the registration process. After the registration process, you either go through Blackboard, click on My Labs Plus, it will automatically take you to your course, or you go to My Labs Math and Google, type it in Google, and save it on your desktop, and go to My Labs Math and My Labs, it's supposed to have a S there, My Labs Math, and it will take you to the website. You can save on your desktop, and like this computer, it will save your password to where all you need to do is just click on the icon. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, now again, that's how to get registered, and after you registered, you can go to the website. I'm repeating myself several times because I know students, okay? Now, there are 4 or 5 keys over here that you need to be aware of. Let's go for the easiest one first. What do you think gradebook is for?
It's for grades.
For grades. For that student that's going to email me at the end of the semester, what are they going to ask me? What's my grade? Are they going to get a reply? Hell to the no. No, they're not going to get a reply from me because I'm not going to tell you as an adult where to find your grade on a website that has gradebook beside it. There's your overall grade. You want to show the calculation, and it'll have your assignments down here. Now that's not set up right because I'm not supposed to have a quiz. I thought I fixed these. Hold on just a second. I thought I fixed it. Let me go in and fix that right quick. Sometimes when you think you hit the save button, it doesn't save. Your homework is 20% of your grade. We went over this with the syllabus. I don't give quizzes. Y'all want quizzes? I'd be glad to give y'all quizzes if y'all want quizzes. 70% is test, and other is 10%, which would be that project that I care nothing about. I'm supposed to have a save button. There it is. Now, when you go to Gradebook, it should show you, there we go, homework, test, and other. Okay? And it'll have your assignments down here. Now, whatever this number is right here, that is your grade for the semester. So at the end of the semester, when you have everything turned in, that's your grade. So I need you to write in your notebook, I know this is awful, grade book. This is my grade. I know that's awful, but I have to tell students to write that down. E-text. This is your text online. This is your book online. Now, why do I show people this? Because some people choose to print out their book by the outline. Remember, the outline is the most critical sheet of paper in your handouts. Let's go back and look at it, just so everybody will know. Well, I can go, let's see. The easiest way would be to pull it up, 103. Let me just find some handouts. It's called Remaining Handouts, I think. No, it's just email and handouts, the outline. There it is. Now, why am I going over the outline again? Because 4A, 4B, 4C, 4D, I'm sorry, we don't do that when we do this one. Unit 3, there we go. 5A, 5C, 5E. Well, I'm trying just to do chapter 5. Does the outline skip sections here, yes or no? That means I want y'all to say something.
Yes.
Yes. So that means you're going to skip those sections in the book. That's what the outline's for. Now, I hate to insult your intelligence by telling you that, but I have students that will email me. I tell them to read chapter 5. And they will come to me, and they will come up to me and say, I read all 6 sections. And I just look at them like, you dumbass. Why? Why do I say that? Because they didn't read the what? They didn't read the outline. They just print it out and put it to the side. I'm sorry, but the outline should not be pushed to the side like a piece of paper. This is your Bible. This is your template. Okay? This is your outline of what you are responsible for. So if you're going to print out your book and put it in a notebook, you're going to print out 5A, 5C, and 5E. You're going to print out 6A, 6B, and 6C, and you're going to put all that in a notebook. You're going to call it Unit 1, Statistical Reasoning and Putting Statistics to Work, or STATS. And you're going to put it in a notebook, and that's your book for Unit 1. Now, that's, if you're going to print out your book. You can buy a book, you can share a book, you can, do anything you want to. I don't care. But this, I'm showing you how to use your online. And there it is. You hit e-text, and you go to 5A. It takes a minute to pull up a whole book. Click on 5 and go to A. And there it is. And let's see how far it goes till you get to the, I might as well get out of this because this is useless. Let's see, 594 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Usually they're 10 pages or around 10 pages. But evidently not. Yeah. And there's your quick quiz. So it's about 11 pages. Now, if you want to do the quick quiz and the homework, you want to print that out, that'll be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15. 15 pages. 11 without the homework and 15 with the homework. Now that's not homework you're responsible for. The in-book homework, that's just extra. The only thing you're responsible for is what's in my lab's math. Okay, and that is how you use the e-text. Anybody got a question on the book? Anybody got a question about the book or about, printing out the book? You hit the print button, these 3 arrows, print page. Anybody got a question about the book? So now you got grade book and you got e-text. Chapter contents is also extra problems. Let me show you how to do extra problems. These are extra problems. I need you to write down in your notebook extra problems that do not affect your numerical grade. Okay, I need you to write that down, because when I say extra problems, some of you might think it's bonus or it'll affect your grade. It will not. These are just extra problems, like you going out and going to the internet and printing out a PDF file with extra problems. It doesn't affect your grade. Now, it does affect your grade, because the more problems you do, the better you're going to get for the test. So it indirectly affects your grade, but it doesn't directly affect your grade. So chapter contents, you would hit, where they switch things around on me. Hold on. Oh, I got to do the section. What section were we? Chapter 5A. You find your section, and there's the study plan, and that will give you extra problems that do not count in your numerical grading weights. Okay? Go to the chapter and section and hit study plan, and that will give you extra problems to work on right there. All right, next, we've talked about gradebook, e-text, and chapter contents. Now let's go to assignments. This is the most used button. This is where you go to get your test and your homework. And nothing's available. Great. Let me go and fix that. These teachers, I ain't kidding you. See, each teacher is supposed to do a couple of these courses. I'm responsible for Math 110 and 111, and other teachers are responsible for like 103 and 120. Well, some of these teachers don't set it up to where your first day of class, the homework is open. So it's kind of a pain. Hold on a second. I'll set it up for you. Just take me a second. Okay, chapter 5. Let's see, 5A. See, I got the date set, but they didn't have they had them unassigned. 5A, 5C, 5E, 6A, 6B, 6C. Oh my gosh, it lines up with the outline. Duh. Okay, now some of y'all that want to go in and do homework, you can actually do homework now. Hold on, as soon as it gets through. And let me go back and look at the test and see if I can load a test right quick for you. Okay, I'll go do that. See if I can find one of my tests. Create, import assignment. Next. I thought so. I'm going to have to go back. Okay, just give me a second. E-college. What is her name? What is her name? Choi. I think it's C-O-I. Password. Let me see if I can get a password. There it is. There we go. Let's see, when was the last semester? Last semester I taught was right there. test. Well, crap. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back. Let me go back one and see if I can pick another. Oh, okay. One more try. To previous. I think I know why it's doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to show that to you next time. Okay, but anyway, let me go back to now we go back to assignments. And when you go back to assignments now, you'll pull up the homework. There you go. Now, I'm going to drop down to chapter 6 and show you a little bit. It's got a little bit of math in it because all this is reading. The first couple of 4 sections is reading and vocabulary words and stuff like that. I want to try to find a math question. Okay. Complete, find the mean. Okay, here we go. Let me back up to something that's simple. Okay, here's one, and it says find the mean and the median for the waiting times at big bank, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now the reason I'm showing you this is because I want to show you what this button is for right here. Question help. Now the reason I use this button is very important to me because I gauge my class on this button. One of these buttons. There's several buttons in here. Let's look at it. And it's exactly the one I don't want, but it will show you where to go in the textbook to find out how to do this problem. It will give you a video with the ones with the videos. Let me find one that has what I want. There we go. Well, it's not exactly what I wanted. But help me solve this. I want you to write down, help me solve this in your notebook, and a dash. And I want you to put guided tutorial. Does anybody know what a guided tutorial is? Anybody want to take a stab at it? Okay. A guided tutorial, anybody want to take a stab at it? I saw somebody come on. Miss Gill, did you know what a guided tutorial is?
Yeah, it basically just helps you like step by step. So you'll guess. If you don't know it, you'll guess and it'll be like, no, it's wrong. You gotta
okay. Yes, a guided tutorial is a tutorial where the tutor will ask the tutoree questions before you get to the final answer. Like, okay, what do we do here? Do we put these in order? Do we put them from descending to, what is the mean? You know, it asks you questions before you get to the answer. Now, who uses help me solve this? A person that says, help me solve this, that clicks that and put this, is a person that's never seen the material before. Never seen the material before. That needs some kind of explanation. A person that hits view an example, what's the difference in these two? What's different from view an example than help me solve this? View an example doesn't ask any questions. It just shows you how to do it. So you write down view an example, dash, help me solve this. Who uses help me solve this? The person that has had the material before and just can't remember. That's the difference between these two learning styles. Help me solve this is a guided tutorial for people that's never seen the material. So if you are a high school student and you've never had probability and statistics, then you would be using help me solve this a little bit. Now, you're not going to use it for the mean because most people know how to find the average of a bunch of numbers. Okay, but you might use it for the median or the range if you don't know. Okay? Oh, vodka and toothpaste don't go together. Ugh. All right. Textbook. Textbook shows you where in the book you can find this problem or the explanation of mean, median, and range. I'm just kidding. I'm not a vodka drinker. I never have. Since I was in high school and my first taste of vodka, I was like, bleh. I never have drank it since. I don't think I've drank it since high school. Anyway, StatCrunch, that is a glorified spreadsheet, and we will use the spreadsheet in here, and I will show you how to use it as well as your calculator. There is my button right there. Now let's say you're at home, and that's what these questions are for. That's what these aids are for. These aids are to support you when you're working on your homework at home. And when you can't, and you've exhausted all of these, and there's a couple more, there's one called computer tutorial, and there's another one called video, and there's a couple other ones, but they don't have them on each question. You click, and none of those help. You hit Ask My Instructor. I want you to put Ask My Instructor, and I want you to put dash, and I want you to put office hours /tutor. That button right there changes me in the next class into a tutor /office hours. Now, how many of you have had me before? Miss Arabia, I can't see, let's see. Let me go down the list here. Arabia, I'm looking. Miss Oglesby, have you had me before, or are you one of my advisees? Okay, she went back to sleep. Okay, Miss Arabia, are you still anywhere around, or did you go back to sleep too?
I had you as my advisor this past semester.
Okay, that's what I thought. Miss Arabia, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I'm gonna pick on you because you were one of my students. Do people use Ask My Instructor in my class?
Not really, but we should.
They send it, not with these virtual classes, no. But did some of them use it last semester?
Yeah, and then you'd go over the problems on there during class.
Just like a tutor. And I resent students that come up to me and say, at the first week of class, and says, I'm getting me a tutor. You haven't even given me a chance. You haven't even, asked my instructor. That's Hubert is a tutor, okay? Hubert will go over the question, okay? That's what that's for. A lot of students have been conditioned that the teacher is not supposed to go over questions. Any of y'all ever felt like that in a classroom before? Be real, you have. Remember, I'm the opposite. I'm in the minority. I go over questions. Okay? So, well, let me rephrase the question, Miss Arabia. When students sent me questions, did I ever not go over?
No, you always went over them.
Exactly. What did you have me for? Did you have me for 120 or 109 or 110?
It was 110.
Okay. And that's a booger, of course, isn't it, Miss Arabia?
Yeah, it is.
It is. I mean, I had a lot of questions come in there. So use it. How do you use it? Well, it's real simple. You get to a question you don't know how to do, or you don't understand, or you typed in the answer and it told you you were wrong, but then it said you're right. I mean, you get the answer and it's the same answer that you typed in, but it marked it wrong. Any of those type situations, you send them to me. And then you say, will you go over this during next class, or something like that. And then you hit send. Oh my gosh, what was that ding? That ding in 103. Well, it's supposed to go to 103, but it didn't. Right there it is. Now move it over to my folder, and folder the next day when we have class Wednesday, I go over homework questions. Now tell me, and there's the link, there's the little message right there, and there's the link. I don't even have to go look for it. I just click on the link, and it'll take me to that question that you sent me. Now, I'm no rocket scientist, but that's pretty simple, people. You should feel blessed to have a teacher that will go over questions if you send them to them. Because I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of teachers that if you ask a question in class, they'll say, come see me after class. Or see me during office hours. That's not what you're paying for. Who's got a question on Ask My Instructor? Well, that's right there. That is your way of getting me to help you. Because if I don't hear from you, what does that mean? What do I think? If I go over section, what is this, 6B? If I go over section 6B in class, which means you need to do your homework that night and the next day and be ready for Wednesday. If you don't send me any questions, if the class does not send me any questions, then what am I to assume?
We know the material.
Exactly.
Or we didn't do it.
The squeaky door gets the what? It's your parents' fault. We're gonna learn this. The squeaky door gets the what? Our nation is doomed. Y'all supposed to say grease. The squeaky door gets the grease. It's your parents' fault. Okay? If you don't ask questions, remember, I'm not a female. Okay? I don't do the mind reading thing like y'all females do, especially when y'all get married. Okay? Males don't do that. Okay? So you might want to write that down in your notebook. Males do not do the mind reading thing. They never will. Never. So for those females out there that believe you can change a man, no, you won't. Okay? We don't do mind reading. So you thinking, oh, well, he'll go over that again tomorrow. If nobody asks, I'm not going over it again. I'm going to move on. But I will stop the class to go over questions. Miss Arabia, last semester, did we cover problems over? In other words, did I do questions that y'all sent? Did I do them twice and maybe 3 times when y'all sent them?
No.
I usually did.
One time, unless there was more questions about it or anything.
Yeah, if I had more questions, yeah. I usually go over, like if I see a problem that y'all send me in homework, and then let's say that Mr. Stubenhofer, let's say he sends it on Monday. And I go over it Monday, and Miss Gill sends me the same question on Friday. But
You muted yourself, or someone muted you.
then I will go over it again for Miss Gill because it has different numbers. Okay? So I will go over problems even if it's the same type problem, because the numbers are not going to be the same between Mr. Stubenhofer's and Miss Gill's. Even though it's the same number, it's not going to be the same question. Everybody understand that? Okay, nobody's going to talk to me. Thank you. Okay, I appreciate y'all not being, not communicating. I appreciate it. Makes class go by twice as long. All right, who's got questions about homework or test or anything like that on Who's got questions about My Lab's math?
How long will we have to complete the homework, sir?
Okay, just like I might not have told y'all this the other day, but when I give a test, right before the test, well, first of all, your outline will tell you when we're going to have a test. Let me go back there because I don't know what I've covered and what I haven't covered. So hold on just a second. Because after you teach 6 classes, you can't remember which class you told what. Let's do unit 1 here. This is a question about homework and test for that person that asked. I didn't see who lit up, so I can't recall your name. In this test, we've got 3 sections here and 3 sections here. When I get to 6C, and you're looking at your outline, because everybody printed it out, and I told them it was the most important page, so that means that 2 of you will put it in your notebook. The rest of you won't do it. Okay? So when I get to 6C, what is that going to tell all of you that have an outline? What is it going to tell all you that have an outline in the class? What is that going to tell you?
About the testing.
That the next time we get together, we're going to be reviewing for a test. When we review for a test, I pull the test up. Not your test, but I pull a test up that's very similar to the test that you're going to have. We go over that test, and then, listen to this, I assign dates to the test and the what?
Homework.
The homework. Miss Arabia, please tell them that this is what I do.
Yeah, and like we'll have plenty of time to do the homework for the most part, unless like if you have more questions about it, then you'll extend it or things like that.
Yep. Well, to a certain point, yes. How are you supposed to do this? This is the way you should do this. If I go over 5A, and I say, okay, y'all should do the homework, then you should have the homework done by Wednesday or questions sent in by Wednesday. If I get questions, I'll keep going over them, then I'll move into 5C. If I finish 5C, when I finish 5C, if I finish it Wednesday, I'm going to say, okay, you can do homework on 5C. If I don't finish it on Wednesday, I'm going to finish it on Friday, and I'll say, okay, you're ready. Whenever I say everybody should be working on their homework on this section, that's when you're responsible for it. And you should have 5C by Monday if I finish it on Friday. That's the way this is supposed to work. Now, for the lazy people and the procrastinating people that don't do your homework until I get to 6B, don't be sending me questions on 5A and 5C when I'm in 6B and 6C. Does everybody understand that? I will answer questions when we're in that section. But I'm not going to answer questions from 5A when I'm in 6C. Why? Because I am enabling the procrastinators. I'm telling the procrastinators that it's okay for you to procrastinate. No, it's not. If I'm on 6A, I will answer questions on 6A and 5E. If I'm in 6C, I will answer questions on 6B and probably 6A. But I'm not going to answer questions from chapter 5 when I'm in chapter 6C, almost ready for a test. Does everybody understand that? Or does anybody not understand that? So, to answer your question, you will know when the test is due or when the test is coming up by looking at your outline. And when I go over this, that's when you'll know the date for the test as well as the homework. Now, I have found out through 25 years of teaching, who is the student that is most concerned with the dates? Anybody want to take a guess at it?
The procrastinator?
Exactly. The ones that's going to procrastinate. I'm not talking about the person that asked that question. I'm talking about the one that's going to come up to me 2 or 3 times from today and say, when's the test due? When's homework due? When's homework due? When's the test? Are we going to have the test? Are we going to have the homework? Those are the ones that worry about the dates. Okay? Those are the ones that got to find out when they're going to work on it. If it's due on the 15th, they're going to work on it on the 14th and the 13th. So follow the outline. If I go over 5A, then that means you're good. I mean, you're supposed to be working on the homework for 5A by the next, or sending in questions. Okay, that's how that works. Anybody else got a question?
I have a question about the projects. Are you gonna like send those out on like under the files in Microsoft
Yes,
Teams?
I'll put it under the files on Teams. Yes, I will.
Okay.
When I got to do that, but that is not my priority right now. My priority is getting y'all started, okay, on the homework. That's my priority. My priority is to do this course. My priority is not to do that project. I will get that project on Teams sometime in the next week. And it's not a big deal. Have you ever done a budget before, Miss Ballou?
Yes, sir.
It's a budget. That's all it is. It's a budget. Now they drag it out and they bureaucratize it and make it 10 times harder than it is, which is not hard. But you ever met somebody that, like my ex-mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law would take a day to tell you an hour story. Okay? Well, this project, it will take you 5 pages to do something that's only on 1 page. So I'm just going ahead and warn you. All right, so that's done. So now everybody should be able to answer questions about the class and MyLabs Math. Anybody got a question on those 2 things? TI 83 or above is your calculator for this course. I would suggest a TI 84 if you're looking. Those of you with an Android, you can download it by going to wabbit.emu. If you look right here, on top of this, it should say Wabbit EMU. They've reset everything on this thing. They don't even have it on there no more. Hold on a second. You used to be able to click on it, and it used to give you Wabbit EMU. Where's about properties? Huh. Well, Wabbit EMU is where you go to get it. Wabbit, WABBIT-EMU. Wabbit EMU, and you can download it on your calculator. Apple folks, you have to pay for it because that's the whole trap for the Apple people. Whatever you get on Apple, you have to pay for. So I'm not an Apple fan at all. So you can get, or you can go to the store and buy you a TI 83 or above. But TI 84 is the best one for this class, I think. All right, so I'm going to shut off the recorder now so I can take roll. And